Ralph Keeler, Melvin Huffine, Dennis Weinberg, Mark Anari, Tommy Jones, Ernest Green, William Pretty, Gerald Mentzer, Mamet Gilbey, James Harris, Bobby Waddell, John Lee, Istvan Jabo, Charles Anderson Jr., Kenneth Blackwell, Ronald Bocook, Nicholas Fulmer, Cecil Walker, Robert Hyde, Vernell Jenkins, Larry Campos, Leslie Deedman, Dennis Anderson, Heriberto Romero Oyola, Harvey Chambers, Brycey Lamb, Robert Lovelace, Dale Berthoud, Charles Pitts, Richard Stampler Jr., Harvey Karkin, Johnny Daniels, Ronald Gaylor, Michael Riley, Wayne Card, John Volner, George Sloan, Richard Tissier, Albert Blackburn, Clark Miller, Michael Monahan, Fred Bragg Jr., Pernell Claude, Gary Coleman, Robert Eccles, Gerald Fox, Willie Fullalove, Eddie Gibson, Stephen Groff, Ronald King, John Harlan, Wandel Hickman, David Horn, Jerry Hughes, Rockwell Jameson, Charles Judge Jr., Jerry Lanier, Milford McKee, Joseph Miller, Owen Montgomery, Gaylord Newts, Salvatore Polizzi, Brian Rushton, Troy Sexton, James Shealy, Robert Strange, Gary Wagenspach, Floyd Williams, Moses Williams, James Van Bendegam, Emory, Illinois Jr., Donald Campbell, Richard Klug, Edward Higgins III, Terrence Sund, Richard Carver, James Kramer, John Raymond, Lewis Willett, William Wessels, Jerry Chunges, Otto Tucker, Jimmy Jones, Laszlo Holovitz, Isaac Huffman, Kenneth Tappy, James Hickey, Van Dyke Manners, Eric Speak, Julio Caneco, Alfred Ellis, Tyrone Combs, Ronald E. Crane, Floyd No, Patrick Brophy, Michael Marshman, Norman Mayer, Donnie Beasley, Charles Mattern, George Carr, Richmond Luce, Fred Bragg Jr., Leroy Charbonneau, James Hayder, Robert Sharon III, Charles Dellinger, Ronald Johnson, John Barbary, James Neal, Dale Anderson, George Barrett, Marion Saltz, Alan Beretti, Roy Alexander, Gary Reed, Alan Roberts, Bernard Mazursky, Thomas McCormick Jr., Douglas Smith, Larry Gifford, Angelo Giacobbe, Bruce Dolbo, Tony Oliver, Dana Rosner, Donald Stilley, Thomas Bonderer, David Botts, Louis Gow, Michael Goines, Albert Smith, Gerald Pena, Russell Bryant Jr., Leon Hamner, David Rickles, Joseph Santos, Arthur Hines, Michael Nemeth, Irving Pierce Jr., David Thomas, Richard Noble, Anand Rourke, Albert Romine, William Jones, Ernest Mora, William Harrington, Anthony Brewer, Rufus Henderson, Stephen Miner, Clifford Kubler Jr., Wallace Dietz, James Ames, David Hendel, Clyde Himes, Ananias Boyd, Milton Flowers, Van Norris, Lawrence Rose, Robert Cobb, Randall Loy, Frederick Hemphill, Victor Stribling, John Rotonelli, Lloyd Smith, Clarence Goss, Homer Lee, Sterling Hill, John Culp, Larry Caravetta, Tom Galvez, Frank Garapolo, John Lindell, James McKelvey, Gary Dara, Robert Graham, Joseph King Jr., Darrell Gallagher, Joaquin Tello, Ralph Zuringo, Laverne Techmeyer, Michael Pastorino, Stephen Bauer, Edwin Ackerman Jr., Dean Johnson, Raymond Bethia, Clarence Burleson, Jerry McDonald, Edward Millison III, Clarence Noford, Robert Prato Jr., Thomas Turner, Julius Mitchell, William Stedel, Lawrence Budzinski, Randall Ruggs, William Stout III, Patrick Haggerty, Prentice Harris, Jr., Michael Heath, James Leonard, Kenneth Skur, William Sewell, Stephen Terzilli, Philip Weir, Gary Barbie, Dwayne Scoden, Thomas Hires, James Eisman, Jerry Warbriton, Terrence Kilbane, Robert Parcher, Jr., Silas Parabeck, Donald Blair, James Busquette, David Kellison, Gary Fassel, James Francis, Keith Gibson, Gary Grubbs, Matthew Lozano, Jr., Harold Wormsley, Kenneth Goodness, John Hall, Ricky Sweeney, Louis Hilario Padilla, William Beard, Roy Zufelt, Louis Daly, Frederick Henry, Thomas Horrell, David Howard, Lawrence Paulson, Mac Preston, Jr., Alexander Santiago, Jr., Thomas Williams, Frederick Allmeyer, Curtis Klein, Dennis Lee, Johnny Lynn, Joseph Hashin, Jr., Paul Nelson, Darren Drinsky, Robert Carter, Jr., Kenneth Seward, Byron Calkins, Claudie Metcalf, Paul Tillman, Emmett James, Benjamin Rawlings, Paul Vavrosky, Harvey Avery, Kenneth Estes, George Heatherly, John Sexton, Frederick Herrera, Jerry Irvin, Richard Barber, Wayne Bebo, Arthur Kangas, John McCarthy, Thomas Patella, Silvestre Rivera, Leroy Wallace, Hiram Endington Jr., Robert Riviera, Wayne Zack, Troy Flint, Thomas Sherry, Robert Thompson, Stephen Rushing, Kenneth Nolan, Michael Gambino, Casey Perry, Albert Maldonado Liberes, Thomas Padilla, James Olson, Wilbert Jones, Benton Williamson, Terrence Folsom, Chad Charlesworth, John Boucher, John Ograzek, Joseph Silva, John Verno, Keith Franklin, Philip Bennett, Richard Taylor, Francis Bunk, John Wynn.